All right, you guys. Thanks for getting on tonight's Team Zoom call. I'm Tracy Anderson. Probably, I think most of you know me, but in case you're new and you don't know me, I am a Gold Elite 2 from the Seattle, Washington area. And I've been with Modera for just over a year now, and I'm just thrilled to be here. It's just been quite the amazing experience for me and for everyone on my team, and I've loved seeing everybody's success. So I'm really excited because January has just started out with a bang. You guys, we're growing, our volume's growing, our enrollments are up. So everyone is definitely going to make 2018 their best year yet. And I get the privilege tonight of introducing our first speaker, Terri-Lee Mooney. She's been with us for probably close to a year now. She'll be able to tell you more when she starts talking, but she's a Platinum 1, D1, and all of you probably know that Platinum 1's a big deal. So is D1, but Platinum 1's a really big deal. All right. It means you're really working hard on your customer base, and you probably have a pretty good product story, and she does. So anyway, she's going to share with us her success story here. And so take notes, because as you know, the stories are what really sell, right? If you have stories and you just add it to your arsenal of stories to share with other people, think about those people that her story might resonate with, and then you can share details of it with them as well. So every time you hear a success story, it's just more belief and proof that what we have here is making a difference in people's life. So with that, Terri-Lee, I will turn it over to you.
Hey, well, thank you very much, Tracy. Really honored that you thought of me and asked me to speak on the Zoom tonight. So some things I'm going to try not to do is try not to freeze up, try not to say too much, and just kind of relax. So as she was saying, I am a Platinum 1, Director 1 with Modera. My name is Terri-Lee Mooney. I live in a small town in rural Manitoba, for those of you who don't know, in a town called Beausejour, which is about 3,500 people. We're in the outskirts of Winnipeg. And yeah, so I am a wife, I'm a mother of 5, and I'm a grandma to one adorable little granddaughter that I adore. So my Modera story, and kind of weaved in some personal stuff in here too, I joined Modera last April 13th. I'm going to backtrack a little bit before that though. What originally attracted me to this company and our team is in January 2017, I started noticing this girl I was been following on Facebook for a while. She was a Beachbody coach. She was a very successful Beachbody coach, was doing wonderful recipes online, was highly entertaining. I kind of knew her a little bit because she grew up in the same area. Didn't know her personally though. She sent me a random friend request the previous July. So let's just call her Brett. I don't know, because I think that's her name. So I've been following her for about 6 months, and she had a live video from her car January last year that she was no longer going to be with the company she was going to be, and she was jumping over to this brand new company, and she had such excitement and such just excitement in her voice when she was talking about it, and it kind of got me thinking, why would she be switching? And this company must be something pretty fabulous for her to switch. So I was for sure super curious about it. So it took me a couple months after that of following her, because Brett joined last January. So kind of mid-March now. She had been kind of mentioning about this weight loss system that was out there, and then there was this brand new product called Trim that was coming out to the market. So that really, at that time, I'd already kind of had a healthy living lifestyle. I was on a bit of a plateau for the year previous to that, and I really just kind of wanted to lose those last 40-ish pounds. I'd already lost about 38 pounds just by eating clean and exercising on my own. So just gonna follow my notes here a little bit. So Also, I'm going to go back to, I've done like everything in the past. You talk about cleanses, juice cleanses, herbal cleanses, 21-day fixes, 10-day shreds, like you name it, I have probably spent the money and tried it, all with limited success. Maybe lose a few pounds, gain it all back. Nothing was very sustainable. So I was pretty excited about trying this new product called M3 and Trim. So I don't know if anybody remembers who's been in the company for a while, but back in March, especially when Trim was first launched, you had to get on the phone and you had to be on hold for 2 hours to get that dang order in that first week that Trim was launched. And I think it sold out within a couple of weeks. I can't remember the exact details, but I was one of those people on the phone trying to get the Trim, couldn't get through one day, had to get through the next day because there was a bit of a promo on to get it. So once I actually got it ordered, I was like, I'm freaking all in. I'm gonna try this, do it the best of my ability. And so yeah, when my kit came in, with Brett's help, started on it. And I think within the first couple days, I had like 5-pound weight loss. And by the end of the first 2 weeks, I'd lost 7 pounds. And one thing I didn't even know about the Trim was about the liquid BioSil that was in it. So also previous to this, I've always had this dream of being a runner. I had this dream since I was about 16. I had very large breasts prior to this. About a year before I tried the M3 and Trim, I had a breast reduction. And I tried to run, and I could not run anymore because my hips and knees bothered me so much. I'm in my late 40s. And I just kind of went, I guess that running dream is over because I've waited too long. Now I'm too old, my hips and knees hurt too much, I can't do it. So after being on M3 for the first couple weeks and with the Trim, I actually thought, hey, you know what, let's just try to do this running thing again. I've dropped a few pounds, maybe it'll be a bit easier, right? And without even realizing it, I ran for 30 minutes straight, which I'd never done since my teens. And I had no more pain in my hips and my knees. So I know this is not typical of a lot of customers who try the BioSil, but I was flabbergasted. Like I couldn't even figure out how this was happening. So I was so excited that I think I messaged Brett at the time, and I think I want to join and promote this because I was so excited about all the success that I was having. So on April 13th, 2017 was the day that I signed up with Brett. And we didn't realize it at the time, but we actually figured out that we actually worked about 2 blocks away from each other in downtown Winnipeg. And my background in work previous to this was in diagnostics and healthcare, project management, in IT, and in training. I just had finished a huge provincial project where I trained all the rural hospitals to use a software system that we installed. So it was a 4-year project. This project was wrapping up a few months after this. 4 of my 5 kids have moved out of the house. So, you know, having a little empty nest syndrome. I've always been a super busy person. That's always been like, you know, the mom who volunteers for every darn thing, and the one that joins community groups to try to get things done for your community. So I've always led a very busy lifestyle, and with only having 1 child at home, I was kind of bored. So I thought this would be a pretty good fit. Because as much as success, and I was loving the M3 and Trim, and now looking at more information about the BioSil because I was having so much success with the Trim, I really wanted to promote this and share this with other people. And I think the reason it did so well for me, because I've always been a really hardworking person. I've always been a very honest and authentic person, to a fault sometimes, maybe even. So people really started listening to me when I started talking about it. I know there's a lot of eye rolling and stuff, which everyone gets when they're just starting a new venture in network marketing. I'm sure we all can relate to that. But I also really just seen a vision in this that maybe this is something that I could do really well at. With having a training background, with having a background in IT, it all kind of just made sense. It's social marketing, IT, I've done training before. Maybe I could train other people to do it too. So Brett and I started talking about where we could take this business, and Brett was having a lot of success and a lot of social marketers joining her. And I remember talking to her on the phone one day coming back from the cabin. I'm like, hey girl, I've got some people who are joining me and I just don't want to leave them trying to figure everything out. I really want to like train them. And she's like, well, funny you say that. There's this thing I've been thinking about called Bronze in 5. We could train people for 5 days, get them going and get them to bronze and get their business started. I'm like, oh, brilliant, brilliant. So that became Bronze in 5. If anybody knows and have followed it in the Mogo Variety Show, we did a small group on our own team, and then we did expand into that. As well as I worked with Brett with lots of raw health support groups that that Brett developed and I helped with, and some online events that we did that had a lot of success with. And I have been absolutely loving every minute of this. This has been the perfect fit for me. I've had my own personal success, as well as I've helped so many customers with M3 and BioSil. It's really kind of a breath of fresh air to be able to help people like that. You know, you always have those certain customers I know it just doesn't work for, which is a little discouraging, but that far outweighs the positive progress I see in so many of my customers. I've had, I think I was counting the other day, 6 customers that actually have reached their goal weights and no longer need to do M3, and have transitioned to doing other things, trying the BioSil and trying some of our daily essentials and stuff. So that to me is a success in itself, that I've actually helped people along the way as well. So just to go in a little bit of my BioSil story, since after trying trim and I was able to start running, my first 2 customers that didn't order M3 are actually the reason for this. And their name is Shelly, and I think she's on here right now. And the other one is Jameer. And both of them have actually joined me as social marketers now. But they were the first 2 people, and they're big runners. And they tried the BioSil Sport, and they were like, this stuff is awesome. Like, these are 2 people who didn't think they were going to be able to run a marathon last year because they had such pain in their knees and their hips, and both of them ran a marathon in June after trying the product with no pain. So after hearing that from my own customers, I decided to try the BioSil Sport, and throughout my, like after trying BioSil Sport, and it helps so much with the branched chain amino acids in it for muscle recovery and stuff, I started training for a marathon. And in September, with the encouragement of Jameer, who has joined me since then, but he's a huge marathon runner, I ran my first 10K. And then in October, a month later, I ran my first half marathon with no frickin' joint pain. Like, my hips and knees never bother me anymore, and it's truly amazing. I have both my parents on it that have huge success stories with the BioSil Life, and I just think that's where I get my customer basis from, is because I do have a really huge success story, and now I have a lot of customers that I can share their stories with. So I just want to say, I'm proud to say, after what's it been, 10 months with Modere, not only have I had huge success in this business, but I've had huge personal success. And I can officially say in my late 40s that I am a runner. And the people I've met in my running community are truly amazing and inspire me to just do more and do better. So yeah, that's my story, and that's about all I had.
Oh, Terri-Lee, that's just fantastic. I mean, you're so inspiring on so many different levels. And I just have to say this about Terri, is that she's probably one of the most positive people I know. She just approaches everything from a positive place. And there isn't any situation that she can't turn around and find something good in. And I mean, that's such a huge thing. Terri-Lee, I just, I admire that so much in you, and you make all of us better just by being around us. And I appreciate you so much. And I have to say, her values really truly align with this company's. And if you don't know the company's values, I'm just going to list them for you here really quick, because I just came across this coin that Robert Conley gave us at the conference a few months ago. give the elites. And it has the values listed on it and a little compass. So it's like if you're always looking for if you're looking to make a choice, a decision, your true north, Modaire's values really are that true north. Vibrant, Terri definitely is that. Authentic, definitely authentic, compassionate, humble, and then also disruptive, right? So she's willing to do something different, step out of the box to make a difference in her life and other people's lives. And I just think that's really important. And I love how you mentioned the cabin. One thing I've noticed about Canadians is every Canadian I know has either a cabin or a cottage. It's like, Anna, I think we're in the wrong country.
Well, there's a lot of lakes here, so you have to enjoy them.
Oh, yeah. Well, Anna has a boat, so maybe we'll come visit. But anyway, I just want to introduce Anna again. Anna is a platinum elite 3. That's the top rank you can get here at Modaire. And I just want to impress upon you how fortunate we are to have Anna taking an interest in us and help us in our calls. There isn't any company in this industry that wouldn't love to have somebody like Anna Woodward, to have Anna Woodward herself mentoring them and mentoring their people. And she has taken an interest in all of us because of who we are and what she sees in us. So Anna, thank you so much for taking the time to invest in all of us.
Oh, thank you, Tracy. And Terri-Lee, I have to tell you, we've not met very often, so I can't say I know you well personally, but you really are lined up with the company and the mission. And one of my great mentors, Rita Davenport, used to always say, belief has a ring. It has a sound like a bell. And when I was listening to you speak, you have that sound. And it's no wonder you're Platinum 1 and you're on the move. And you guys, you know what? I always think getting an athlete on board is never a bad thing because they're natural competitors. And they like to win. And I think that's Terri-Lee. So thank you for sharing everything. So good evening, and I'm going to put my Valentine's Day glasses on because my new classy ones haven't come in the mail yet. So these are like silly pink, but I can't see my notes without them. And when Tracy asked me to speak again this week, I thought, well, what do you want me to speak on? And she suggested vision. And honestly, it just was the perfect time, I believe, to have this discussion with each one of you. And so those of you who I haven't met yet, I think what I bring to you, I'm very proud of what I bring to you because I come from a genealogy of some amazing multi-million-dollar giants in this industry. And I'm going to brag about that. It's not me. It's who poured into me for the last 13 years. I can still see the #1 earner in my first company on the stage. She's on GoPro. Every Power Women in Networking event, she's there. I see another one who coined she just coined so many isms that I use on a regular basis today, and she had layers and layers and layers of 6-figure earners and changed lives, children's lives. I mean, the people who poured into me were giants. And so when I get a chance to share with you, let's see, Tracy, do you want to mute everybody because someone's off mute?
There you go. Does your dog have to go pee?
Probably, but I'm not going to let her out.
Oh, he was by the door.
Tracy, do you know how to do it? I'll do it. I can't do it. You got everybody muted? Okay, let's try it again. So one of the things that I want to talk to you guys about is vision. And this is huge. Tracy, I'm going to wait until you get muted because I'll get so confused. You guys just hold off a minute.
Yeah, Anna, the only one that isn't muted is you, according to this. So is that coming from you?
Maybe it's someone on there. Maybe it's on a phone because I don't have a door.
Yeah, I'm trying to find the person. Okay, somebody's not muted, so.
Okay, I think it went. Someone whose doggy has to pee. Thank you very much. We all let your dog out. Okay, all right. So vision. And the reason this is so important is because we work with the volunteer army, and people are going to be compelled to follow you and follow me, or they'll play at this game called Modaire a little while and burn out or be gone. And quite frankly, leaders burn out. So even some of the top most successful leaders in the world, whether it's in athletics or it's in business, maybe it's in academics, if they don't renew their vision, they will perish. They will go through cycles of burnout. And so I want to talk to you guys about a compelling vision. And the question I have here is, are you focused on a compelling vision for your business? All right. Now, I'm going to start with a proverb, a Japanese proverb, and then you'll see where I'm going to go with this. So basically, the proverb goes, a vision without action is a daydream. Action without vision is a nightmare. See, I want to help you avoid the nightmare of just kind of going randomly from week to week, from month to month, to pod, to rank, to, you know, whatever the product of the month is, and not having a clear long-term vision. So, you know, I joined this business, 13 years ago. And I will say one of the nuggets I got from day one was I had a vision. And my vision wasn't the products. I liked the products enough. But I was not spending my time, my precious time, away from my children, or in the evening on the computer or on the phone, you know, dialing for dollars. Because back then we did a heck of a lot more picking up the 500-pound elephant called the phone than we did Facebook Messenger. I wasn't doing it because of the products. I wasn't doing it because of the ingredients. I wasn't doing it because of anything else other than I had a vision. And my vision was Holly, actually. My vision was that if I used my own products and I learned about my business and I taught others how to do the same, and I could articulate what this could do for us as women and men, but what it could do for our families, what it could do for us down the road in the future, then people would be more tuned into connecting and locking arms with me because the bigger picture. So many times leaders forget to articulate that bigger picture. So I want to do that a little bit with you today. So there's four things when we talk about a vision and creating a vision and a compelling vision that tend to come up. Number one, the definition of a vision is a clear picture of a positive future state. So write that down. Do you have a clear picture of a positive future state? Okay. Number two, mission comes into play. Why are we here? Why do we exist? And now you could we're not discussing that in its entirety today, but who's Modir? Why is network marketing direct sales special? Why do we exist? What's our opportunity really about? And I've said it once and I'll say it a million times. It's not the product business, it's the people business, okay? Values. You heard Tracy in the beginning speak a bit to our values. The values are the way in which we will or we will not get things done. So it's good to know and be reminded, does your vision, your compelling vision, and your mission fit with your values? And are you taking those values into your team as well? And the last one is goals. When you talk about vision, you kind of have to pull in goals right behind it, because they're the bite-sized pieces that get you incrementally on a managed timeline to your positive future state, okay? So the bite-sized pieces that get you incrementally on a managed timeline to your positive future state. Okay, so that's a lot, isn't it? I'll give you the source of where I pick some of that up in a minute. But basically, it's something really important to think about, because you'll be surprised. And I know a lot of you have been to many trainings. Some of us come from the same background, the same company. Some of you have been to my training where I talk about the personalities. And there are 4 dominant personalities in the world, and we usually call them red, yellow, blue, green. There's the producer, there's the promoter, there's the peacemaker, and then there's the process. Okay, so I'm not going to go into that training today, but it is important to know that all those people make up your team, all those dominant personalities. And what I just shared with you, your compelling vision has to be a vision that pulls the majority of that group to a central point forward, okay? Now, the one thing I found surprising, and actually this came from an article by Forbes magazine contributor, his name was Roger Dunman, and I found that surprising because I've been saying this without any evidence, and then I just got his evidence. I'm like, great, I'm gonna quote him. Don't you love when you find someone who agrees with you, who put it in print? But he says, more people today are motivated less by money than by a sense of community, inclusion, and connectedness. Okay, so I want you to think about that, what I just shared with you for a minute. We're talking about you and your business and your compelling vision, all right? But in that compelling vision and in how you portray that and how you lead your groups and how you conduct yourself, because how you work every day and how you show up is a reflection of your compelling vision, you have to understand that only about 10 to 15% of people in your teams, now if you're a senior director or if you're a senior team leader or you're a director 3 or you're an elite 3, it doesn't matter. The percentages are going to be about this. Less than 15% are going to be the high producing reds that are money oriented. They're money driven. All right. Now that's interesting to know, but just put that on your piece of paper, right? Because I'm going to talk to you about vision and how we can cast a vision where we start talking about the emotional benefits and the real life truths that pull all the colors forward. All right. All those colors forwards, the reds, the yellows, the greens, the blues. And that in part is, again, the sense of community, the sense of inclusion, the sense of connectedness. And that's even more important for Tracy, for Betty Ann, for Kristen, for all the leaders on the line, that's even more important today than ever for you to know your team by and large is not only and solely motivated by the compensation plan and their weekly check. Now, I know that's important, but it's not what drives them. You create an environment and a vision that includes community, true inclusion, and connectedness, and you have as much glue as you're going to have on the part of the vision that I'm going to share with you in just a moment. Does that make sense? I'm sharing this with you right now because we're a very young team. We're a very, very young team, and we're in a young company, and we're a young team in a young company at a young stage. Okay, we've not been together more than 13 months. The company is 5 years old in its formation of Modere, and yet some of us are just working together for the first time. And I think when you come into a company, particularly the way many of us transitioned over, and then there's new people on board right now, there's a honeymoon period where it takes us dating a little bit to get to know each other, to go, okay, now I kind of get it, now I'm ready. So this is a talk that I kind of would have a kickoff talk more with the team, talking about your compelling vision and why it's so very important. Before I go on my next page, let me share with you why it's important. How many of you came here for the longer dream? And I know you can't raise your hand. You can put it in chat if you want. Some of you came to this company knowing a little bit about network marketing, a little bit about direct sales. You heard the vision of Modere. Maybe you came to a fly-in. You knew this was a company that was setting the table in the infrastructure for the long game, right? For that residual opportunity when we have gray hair, silver hair, and we're rocking grandbabies, right? That's what some of you came for. Some of you are brand new. This is your first experience with this business model, and you're open to hearing more about that story because maybe you haven't heard enough about that story yet or had enough experience around people living that story, but you came for part-time income, and you came because you wanted more. Maybe you came because you saw these gals having fun that you were friends with. Maybe you lost 20 pounds on M3 and you couldn't help but share it. It changed your life. Maybe you came because you were bored in what you normally do. Maybe you came for the inclusion, to be a part of just wonderful, heart-centered, driven, supportive women and men who have each other's back and who want more for all of us in this world. So you see what I'm saying? There's a whole lot of why we all were attracted to Modere. But here's why I'm sharing this talk with my team tonight, is it's a crazy world out there. It is a crazy world out there. I just got the phone with a 7-figure earner, super impressive guy, long-time earner in the industry, Mr. Cedric Harris. And he just won Elite 1. He just came over from another company. Took about 7 months to come over. He kind of dated Modere for a while and then came over, and he's crushing it. But him and I are in absolute alignment on where we see the industry today. And part of the challenge today is, because again, I'm only a 13-year baby in the network marketing industry, but I'll tell you, I didn't just go ATM my way to my first $10,000 check. I had to go out the driveway with buckets and buckets of products and samples and catalogs and order forms and calculators and pens and blah, blah, blah in my car in big Tupperware tubs. I had to drive out, go hours and hours to parties, go to live events, sit down in Starbucks, back-to-back, phone calls in the evening. I mean, I think I really had like an era in network marketing, which, you know, gave me some eagle's wings on my shoulder here as far as being a toughy oldie. Like, I had to really learn some serious, like, don't kiss your kids goodnight. Don't, you know, be there for dinner. Just go build and be around people. Well, he's the same way. But things have changed a lot. And if you guys have kids, how many of you have kids? Drop a 1 in your chat if you have got, no, tell me how many kids you have, because they're so indicative of our culture changing, and we want everything like this, like boom, boom, boom. And people are missing the boat, the conceptual boat, if you will, on what it takes to build walk away, stable income here and how long it takes, right? And because of that, because if we don't solidify your expectation for your vision and then help you establish that within your organization and support that together, we have to lock arms and support that together. You're going to have poachers right and left pulling you to the next shiny penny. If you get into this cryptocurrency coin thingamajigger, you can make $100,000 by next month. And if someone ever tells you that, first off, if it's that easy, it's got to be sleazy, run. Okay, run. But this is what's happening in the industry. The whole Bitcoin thing, in Salt Lake City alone, there's hundreds of little minuscule, irrelevant, just little, shaky startups in MLM, and they're going to start calling to a company like Modere who's attracting talent. And if you don't know and you don't get what it takes for long-term, I call it walk-away income and consistent income, and how I can help you create that environment where your people, your women, your guys, your team, I call it your love blood, they're going to have blinders on and they're going to have earbuds in their ear where they can't hear the distractions out there. But there are going to be distractions because it's a crazy industry right now, and I want you guys to be tough. So we're going to talk about the vision. I've already shared a little bit about culture, and I've given you some information so you do understand money isn't everything to everybody, all right? So and we're here to make money. I'm here to make money. I'm not here for a nonprofit. Don't get me wrong. But I also know to build something long-term, we have to live our culture, right? We have to have those other components in place because that's a huge percentage of what our people are looking for that will stay. People don't stay. People don't leave companies and teams where they feel included, where they feel like they make a difference, where they feel like Tracy does such a great job putting different speakers at different levels on the line to share their stories. That's inclusion. That means you're part of the fabric of this team, and we're never going to stop doing that. So that's important. But how then do we also lead people with a compelling vision? I may be wrong, and I'm happy being wrong. I'm wrong a lot, but I've always said, and I still believe it to this day, people can start by being in love with the product, and that brings a lot of people to Modere, the love of the product, but keeping them in the game long term to get to that $1,000, $2,000, $4,000, $6,000, $8,000, $10,000 plus a month income, you better be telling a lot different stories than just we're sodium lauryl sulfate free, we're paraben free, we're gray water certified. It's not the products, it is the benefit, it is the dream, if you will, the real life dream that's attainable. So I want to give you some things to think about tonight. I'm going to give you some expectations, which these are my expectations. These do not come from Modere. These come from about, like I said, 13 years in the industry, and I did some serious thinking today at lunch. By the way, I went to lunch. I had felt the need to go have a nice salmon Caesar salad at the local restaurant, and then I just happened to have a glass of Chardonnay because I don't have a boss, and I asked the boss, and she said, have a glass of wine with your lunch. So I worked on this training in a wonderful environment. Actually, I had prawn cocktail too. I was kind of a pig today, but I think I got some good stuff for you. All right, so you can tell me later if you think I did too. But okay, so the vision. Now, I want you to start learning the stories. I want to start hearing the stories about what this opportunity buys you. Okay, or what it provides you. Now, what I did, let me show you my piece of paper, just so you can look how I've kind of drawn this. I wrote a little circle. That's a dollar sign in the middle. Okay, you see the little dollar sign, and then I did like a big bubble around it. Okay, like a big cell around it. All right, and then I thought to myself, how am I going to convey to all the leaders on the call tonight and all the social marketers the benefits of being here, being feet firmly planted and being committed long-term to build your book of business and to build your organization, to start seeing the benefits of walk-away residual income. And I'm going to get to that part at the end. So I thought, okay, well, we're going to put money in the middle because at the end of the day, that is what allows us to have the experiences that we have. Now, in my life, one of the things as an offshoot of having a career in network marketing and having residual income is comfort. I have a lot more comfort. I used to call it the 5-star life. Now I'm going to call it, what am I going to call it, Tracy? Still 5-star life. In other words, you kind of have the freedom when you have flexible income and you have more income coming in than you're ever used to having before, or just maybe it matches your full-time income, or it's just, goodness, it's $2,000, $3,000 a month. I'm going to share with you how that is so significant, but that can provide comfort for you. If you need something for your health, go out and get it. Go out and get, a knee brace. Go to the naturopath. Go get extra massages. Go, do what you need to do to take care of your body. Or maybe it's, the comfort of going out to eat 3 or 4 times a week, going to have sushi without worrying about, can I afford this? Will my credit card go through if I charge this dinner? Another thing that my career here has given my family as a result of the time and that stick and stay and that I'm here creating a compelling vision. One of the things I want you to know is education. I never dreamed I'd be putting what I'm putting into education right now for my 2 kids. And it's exciting. And as a parent, I used to get kind of like, oh my gosh, when the kid texts me from college or from school and he's always out of money, I'd be like, oh my God. But now I'm like, okay, honey, I just smile because I know I have to do it anyway. But college education, the special education for one of my sons who needs one-on-one learning. And I just found out a physics class is $5,000, like 1 credit. It's crazy, but it's okay because I have bandwidth to do these things because I've invested in this industry for 13 years and I've paid the price and I've cast a vision and I've led people because I know what the benefits are. And I hate saying no. I hate telling my family no. It's the hardest thing for me. Early retirement. This is a big one that people don't really talk about. And I want you to really think about you or your spouse. Like, what would it be like to retire 6 years earlier? A lot can happen in 6 years at the retirement age. And it can be the difference of having disposable income to travel the world, to go spend unlimited time with different family members, maybe with your children, take on new hobbies, but to be together. When my husband retired for 3 years, I can't tell you what a shock it was to know, like, people actually live like this. Like, we don't, hey, there's Terri-Lee, she's like, retire. We don't have to get up before 11 if we don't want to. we can stay in bed together. We're just like, this is kind of crazy. We can go to lunch because suddenly we weren't beholden to anybody else. He retired. And imagine that after a long, long career, which obviously everyone in our family is working a career in some way, shape, or form to support the family. So that is a gift I don't even think you can put a price on. It doesn't take as much as you might think to be able to shave 5 to 10 years off retirement, okay, if you want enough. Time back. Again, the knowing that you have the extra income over the years built up, and I'm going to share my model here with you, my expectations for you guys to write down. But there's no trading time. Like, it is priceless. And when you suddenly realize you don't have to ask for vacation days, or you don't have to ask the boss if you can go see your daughter's ballet recital, or you don't have to count how many days you have at the cottage or at the lake house, because your life is one big vacation, because you saw the vision 10, 15 years earlier and you began to create the life you wanted in the future. All right. I saw that early on. And the only thing I didn't believe in at the time was me. But I saw people around me, people in my company, people in other companies, people at conferences, and I realized, this is crazy. This is so legit. I'm kind of scared of it myself. So the only one I had to bring up to speed and give myself time was me, in personal development, and just going out and doing it and locking arms and attaching myself to the hip as often as I could with leaders who had what I wanted. They were already living in what I call the want to world, not the have to world. And then I put less stress. Oh my gosh, a life of less stress. You can nap whenever you want. You can eat whenever you want. You can work whenever you want. And you also have the money monkey off your back. There's not this stress. Sure, you can, still save and invest and put away for a rainy day, but you also don't have to nickel and dime it the last 4 days of the month, because there's always a cushion. And that cushion drops in on the 15th of the next month or the 13th of the next month. And it's a peace of mind that it's a gift that is worth. I heard this said a couple of days ago by a top leader of another company, and I forget who it was, but I've heard it over the years. If people had an opportunity to experience residual income once in their life and they lost it, they would go through a fiery wall to get it again. Just a wall of fire to go get it again, because it is it's freedom. It is absolute freedom on this earth. And the last thing I put for our family is beach vacations. we've had more beach vacations, and some of them are really like 5-star plus, and some of them just taking all the family. I get to take my son's girlfriend to Florida again here in about 2 weeks time, and because I have the means and they don't at this point, I don't mind. That's why I have it. Come to Florida with us. Let's have fun. It's fun to treat people and to just be able to pick up and go and not, like I said, not worry. So I share that with you because those are the things, if you get into conversations with more people and you just have heart to hearts, you start talking about life. And, again, not so much product all the time or, features, but the reality is I want less stress in my life. And if I could earn just, $1,000 to $2,000 a month with this gorgeous product line, with people who are buying these products in other online stores or at the grocery store, and I'm showing them the Modere store, and they can shop from their own mall and they're loving it, that extra income is less stress for me. It's less stress for my husband. Do you think that's a different conversation? That's like, oh, I want less stress. I could use less stress. We're really stressed. I have 2 kids in ballet and 1 in hockey and 1 going to college, and right? Or, again, it could be, if someone could be the 5-star life, or it could be meaningful, making a difference. I used to share a story a lot in my first company. And I know Margie Alapranti, I can brag on her in our company because she is part of a women's philanthropic group that gives to a charity that helps women around the world. I don't know more than that because we're going to go down and visit it and get involved, and she hasn't organized it yet. But I knew women in direct sales who built orphanages in Africa, like no joke, the whole orphanage. And so that is something that people who are they're giving centered people, they don't want to necessarily hear about the beach vacation for themselves or, a 5-star life or, sleep when you want, eat when you want, work when you want, but they may want to be able to give more to their church or their community or for their grandchild. So there's lots of different things that can build a compelling vision for others to grab onto and get their teeth into that vision. Does that make sense? And so becoming a master storyteller and to be able to cast that vision out for people is really the net. That's the fishing I want you all to practice more and think about it for yourselves. Because just like you heard Terri-Lee today talking, when you believe without a shadow of a doubt that you can create any kind of a future that time and money can afford you, then all it comes down to is, do you believe you're in the right vehicle? Do you know how much time it's going to take? And do you have the steps and the goals incrementally broken down over a managed period of time to get you to that desired, better future space? Okay, that's a lot of words, I know, but I hope you caught my gist there. If you believe without a doubt it's possible and you're in the right vehicle and there's people around you who are examples of what you believe you can create, then you have to solidify yourself, whether it's you make this little bubble for yourself and you look at it every day and you remind yourself why you started and where you want to grow to, you'll be unstoppable and you'll start to be a magnet for other people who say, I don't know, but there's something about that Wanda. She's she just has an energy about her. And she seems just like she's going somewhere, and I don't want to be left behind. And like I said, some of the benefits, the best parts of this business for me is when I can share with somebody how my life has changed or how my girlfriend's life has changed or another story of someone else whose life has changed. And I see for the first time in their experience, the light bulb's gone off, and I can almost see it. I can't hear it, but I can see it in like a little voice bubble. You mean this can happen for me too? And when that locks in for somebody, it's like, oh, I love that, because that's the potential I wanted to tap. And then it's a matter of, let's build the compelling vision and let's keep on track. So I want to talk to you a little bit about expectations. Watching my clock. I know Tracy said 20 minutes or so, but I'm going to be like 10 more minutes. Expectations of income. We've only been here 13 months. And for a lot of us, it was a strange move. It was a strange kind of transition, like not normal, not organic, not normal. But then a lot of people are coming organically. And so I'm just going to talk organic growth. And first off, I want to share with you, I did the math in the United States. It's rough. It's a rough estimate. I apologize. It's kind of rough. I could be up and down by quite a margin of error here. But I want you to know, if you were in corporate America and you were earning $100,000 a year job, all right, you had $100,000 a year gig. How many of you think that's not bad? It's not bad. It doesn't get you where it used to get you, but it certainly is nothing to be embarrassed about or to like complain about, right? Someone just said cheers. That's right, Tracy. So $100,000 a year salary, if you broke it down in the United States with some taxes and maybe some not benefits, but you claim your family or whatever, maybe a family of 3. That's basically going to come down to, when it hits your bank account, $3,200 a month, twice a month. Now, I could be off a little bit here or there, but it's going to be roughly, you're going to be taking home about $6,000 a month on a $100,000 year job. All right. Again, some states they take more, some states they take less. But just imagine they take about 40%. You have your benefits, you have your health insurance, you have your Medicare. Okay, you're at $6,000. Now, I want to share with you that I truly believe for someone to earn a solid, to build and earn, not have it gifted to you or given to you, but to build and earn a solid $3,000 to $5,000 a month in a multi-level company such as Modere, I'm going to suggest it's a 2-year timeline for, again, walk away solid $3,000 to $5,000 a month, because every business is going to have some of this stuff going on. Okay, so that's what I mean. Over time, there's a run rate and there's enough highs and lows that plateau out and even out. And if you're doing the right kind of recruiting and building into your book of business and your team, and you're carrying your vision, again, 2 years of your life to really go in and create that, that's anywhere between a $50,000 to $100,000 a year corporate job that you're getting paid on a monthly basis. And reality is, you have all the tax advantages, not the tax disadvantages. Okay, so you're actually going to totally be jacking that number up because of all the things you can claim. And second of all, nobody owns you. You're not going to work. You're not going to the nursing, the center at the hospital and clocking in overnight and being there for 8 hours at a time. You are free, but you have a $3,000 to $5,000 a month solid income coming. That is huge when you think about it. Huge. So as a stay-at-home mommy, former musician, when someone told me, Anna, I can show you how to earn the kind of income you could earn if you were earning about $50,000 to $100,000 a month in corporate America, I can show it to you in direct sales. It's going to take 2 years. I said, well, you know what? Sign me up. Okay. Because if you can show me that, no one else has ever knocked on my door and showed me that as a stay-at-home mom without any qualifications in business, how I can go make that happen for my family. You've got my 2 years. You guys, kids go to college today for 4 years, go into massive debt and come out and can't find a job. Like it's insane. What we have here is just understand that 2-year mindset. Don't expect walk away solid until at least 2 years in. The other thing I'm going to say to you is I do believe it's 10 to 15 hours a week. Now, in the world of, working online and stuff like that, it could be shaved off some, because sometimes what we do is much more efficient with digital, but that's part-time. That's part-time. That's part-time work, right? 10 to 15 hours a week. Turn off This Is Us. Turn off whatever. Don't turn off the Olympics. They're coming on next week. But, that's nothing for 2 years of your life to have that kind of income continually coming into your life. And why is that key? Because that's that education. That's maybe for your daughter who's always wanted to go to a special school for dance. That is your spouse who just dream of an extra few years of retirement. So again, goes back to that wheel of, it's not just a dollar amount. What does it mean in your life and the quality of your life? I also want to say this, and so don't get mad at me, Tracy, but I'm going to go out and say it. And that timeline, you really need to be looking at your numbers and ask yourself, can I get to recruit 40 social marketers? Like over the period of 1 to 2 years minimum, can I bring in 40 social marketers to my organization? Because I think that's a minimum benchmark to be looking at the opportunity to have consistent, solid, just every month income, $3,000 to $5,000. Okay. Now, again, this is kind of rough. This is kind of rough estimates, but this is over the course of time. I saw it in my first company. I saw it in my second company. I saw it here. Too many times people mistake this for a linear income model, and they come in, recruit 4 or 5 people. They work on the customer side, which again, I don't ever stop that customer side, because I just had a customer today turn into a social marketer. So that does happen on a regular basis. But the reality is, if you're not willing to go widen that base of how many people you're helping, we can't get you lift off to consistent $3,000 to $5,000 a month. You have to bring in more talent, more people like you who follow a compelling vision, who want some of those benefits, those stories, those real life, like these are game changers. These are things that the 1% of income earners in the world experience. So anyway, my next one I'm going to go to this is this, $8,000 to $12,000 a month. How many of you think, how many of you believe you can absolutely earn $8,000 to $12,000 a month in network marketing in Modere? I'll tell you one thing, if you can't build Modere, good luck going anywhere else. Like, I mean, seriously, look at this catalog. I mean, my kids love looking at these pages. I mean, there's something for everybody, right? Let's see, Brett Whitney goes, absolutely. I mean, everything jumps out. I mean, and you know, when you go through this catalog and you go, okay, I want one of everything, then you have something here, and everything just screams quality, sexy, healthy, classy, and it's all everything in our home every day. So I've never seen a more doable platform in all my years of direct sales and network marketing than this, ever. So I'm telling you, this is where you want to hang your hat and sharpen your axe and learn the skills. So I believe just build and solidify. So people can get to an income level, like they can get to $3,000 a month, but then they'll shock when it drops down a little bit. Well, these are the ebbs and flows these are the natural cycles of business, which is why I say 3,000 to 5,000 is at least a 2-year window. Everybody on this line is 13 months or less in. Okay, so you can't yell at me if you've gone to 3 or 5 and dropped down, because I'm telling you, it's a 2-year run of consistent recruiting and building and creating that cohesion and that vision to get to that run rate. $8,000 to $12,000 a month, I believe it's a 2 to 5 year consistent build to get to solidify that income level. And I'm sharing with you right now because, once again, I know the environment we're in and the world we're in, and people think it should be like that. And there's going to be people who are coming to tell you stories that it should be like that. Oh, you can come over here. We can get you $10,000 a month in 4 months. And you know what? Just laugh at them, because that's not a business. That's called a scheme. It really is. The reality is the Bitcoins, the cryptos, some of these things have created this story in people's mind that it should be that easy. And I'm telling you, the easier it is to fly the building up, the faster it falls. Okay, you have to understand, to build a book of business and solidify. There's things that may change over time, but people don't change. Habits don't change. And to solidify that book of business and that base of people who are following and sticking and staying and falling in love with the culture, the cohesion, the inclusion, the opportunity, the benefits, the upline, the sideline, the success line, you need a window of time to have that seeded, that garden really take hold. So 2 to 5 years to solidify $8,000 to $12,000 a month income. Again, 10 to 15, maybe even 20 hours a week, because you're gonna have a bigger organization by then. You can be doing some leadership skills in there and having to run some, social marketer, relays to the home office and serve it, whatever. You're gonna be doing some managing stuff as well. And again, you have to show me if everyone wants to come to me and say, well, it's not working. The first thing I'm going to say is, I hear you. I understand you want this so bad. I can feel it. I can feel it for you. Show me your recruiting numbers. And I want to know how many of you sponsored from the day you started. And it's not to judge. I mean, I have good months and I have months I've done nothing. But I also know over time, if you're expecting a 6-figure income, higher than a 6-figure income, you have to have recruited talent. And I think the number should be around 40 to 100 social marketers personally brought in, okay? That might scare some of you guys. I don't want it to scare you. There's 300 million people in the US alone. I think 30 million in Canada. This is gorgeous. We're creating a company with a culture, a team with a synergy and energy, a belief in each other, of changing the world as we know it. Customizing it, if you will, to my family's needs, your family needs, our needs, what we want to give. And I think we're going to attract more and more with that message and this team. But I'm just saying, in 2 to 5 years, break it down. That's 20 personal social marketers a year. That's worthy of a 6-figure income. Now, 6-figure income, $8,000 to $12,000 a month. That's still anywhere between, listen to this, you guys, you're going to freak out. An $8,000 to $12,000 a month check in Modere, okay? In Modere, that's close to $180,000 to $200,000 a year U.S. corporate job. It is because $8,000 to $12,000 a year, and $180,000 corporate salary gig. Maybe it's at Boeing, or maybe it's at the bank, or maybe it's at an accounting office or the hospital. You're still looking at $5,000 to $6,000 2 times a month. because of all the taxes and all the HAFTAs that get sliced out of that when you work for somebody else. When you have a business model like we have, you have the tax swing. So you can multiply that check in terms of what you deduct and how you run your business. But still, that $8,000 to $12,000 a month comes to you without having all the bits chopped out of it. So, I mean, if you look apples to apples, what would you do and what would you give to have the benefits of $180,000 to $200,000 annual salary at a job? And think about the stress you'd have, the hours you have to work, your commute, the stress, the demands, and you get to sleep until 11 o'clock if you want when you're, you're in no dare. Just don't schedule any early calls. And at the same time, when you're looking at solidifying that $8,000 to $12,000 a month, again, 5 years, 5 years, 5 years, but we also want to help you develop layers and layers of leaders who understand this. And just like Brett Whitney says, I'm in to win this. I'll give you 2. And then once I give you 2, I'm giving you 5. Because she knows if she can get to 2 years in and she's earning a reliable $3,000 to $5,000 a month, you know, game over, like she checks out, it still comes in, she's going to give me 3 more to get to that 8 to 12. Because I've just proven the theorem. So I'm sharing that with you guys because this is the truth talk. Like, it is so worth it. It is so worth it. And I took 14 weeks off my business and I didn't lose an inch of momentum. In fact, nobody needed me to come back. It was kind of like crazy. But it's how it's supposed to work. Like, at the end of the day, you're supposed to build yourself out of a position, right? You pass the torch. And I'm so proud of the talent in this organization. And I'm so proud of everybody at every level. I just, I'm excited for what you have yet to learn, because you have yet to be exposed to some of the most amazing concepts that if you let them sink in and you grab them, it's game over. You guys got this. This is the most buildable business. This is the most desirable looking and feeling and touching and experiencing product line. The world of social media is not the only way to build this business. Okay. Hi, Terri-Lee. I'm glad to be back too. You know, you have an amazing upline, and Betty Ann and Stacy and Tracy and Casey, and, you know, they're working with everybody on this team to get back to belly, like get back to just getting into massive connections with people. I had to get makeup on today. I had to, like, you know, get dressed, a little bit dressy. I was a mess yesterday, a hot mess, as I like to say. And I went out and I was around different pockets of people. I went to a different coffee shop. I went to a different restaurant. I went to a different grocery store. I went to the hospital and got some cute tchotchkes for my house for Valentine's Day. I was out there meeting people, because that is old-fashioned networking. You have to get out to circulate, to percolate, to make new contacts, and to meet new people who you're attracted to and they're attracted to you. So you're going to get a lot of these skills from this organization. But I want to share with you, right now is the time to form your vision and then grab onto it and put blinders on and put earbuds in, and do not let anything anybody says out here in the riffraff and the noise and the distractions and the people who don't know what you know now, don't let them even begin to take you off your course. Because there are people, I'm just going to say this last thing in closing, and this is the truth about network marketing. And yes, Anna is fired up, but there's people who will jump and jump and jump and jump, and they'll promise you the promised land, and they'll promise you, you know, the moon, and they'll promise you this is going to be the biggest thing since Amway. And the reality is, you cannot create a legacy, long-term, walk-away business with the kind of lifestyle income. I think $3,000 to $5,000 a month is lifestyle. That's equivalent to $1 to $2 million in a bank. That's $1 to $2 million cash in a bank, depending on your interest rate, you guys. This is crazy. And we can do this in 2 years here. They don't know that it takes sticking and staying, finding the right model, gathering the right people in your tribe, and then growing more of the same, and then giving it the time and the energy and the actions and the activity to build it out. Okay. You can't ever get there if you keep starting over. All right. So that's my talk for tonight. Your compelling vision has to be, I will be the next Margie Aliprandi. I'll be the next Michelle Barnes. I'm going to show my team that, you know, I am creating the vision, I'm attaching and locking arms to the vision, and we're going to grow with skills, with communication, with the know-how, and we're going to go through life together. And then maybe we'll be on that beach together. Maybe we will have early retirement together. Maybe we will have less stress together and be able to eat and sleep and work whenever we want. So anyway, I love you guys. I'm going to pass it back to Tracy. Write your thinking out.
Gosh, and who wants to be Anna Woodward? I mean, forget Margie and yeah, Michelle Barnes. I mean, my gosh, Anna, wow. I just don't even want you to stop right now. I'm just like so excited by everything that you had to say. And you know, when I introduced Anna, I said, you guys, any company in this industry would beg to have Anna Woodward mentoring their distributors. And we have Anna. Anna has chosen Modere. She has chosen us. So that right there should tell you everything that you need to know. We are so fortunate to have you, Anna. I suggest going back and taking notes again on this conversation. There's a lot of content, and I got so excited about one thing that I would miss the next thing. I don't know about you, but I know I'm going to have to go back and listen again. So I will get the recording out ASAP and let you know where to find that. And thank you again, Anna, and we'll be sure to have you back again.
May I just say before we close, every one of you, you know, you guys are my love blood. I know we haven't even met, but I have thought about you. I have prayed for this group. I have fought to be back here better and stronger and more convicted than ever. You can reach out to me. I know Holly and I, like Holly better be on tonight because she messages me and we're talking tomorrow. I mean, I'm here for you. Don't feel like, you know, you can't reach out to me, or if you have a question or you need a coaching, or, you know, go around the person who you're in, you know, signed up with, and just message me on Facebook. And it could be something we just talk on Facebook chat, but that's what I'm here for. I love what I see in this group. I think this group is going to be the team to watch in 2018. And I'll put my money where my mouth is. Well, I am. So there you go.
Fantastic. Thank you again so much, Anna, for your time. And thanks for everybody for getting on the call. And we will hopefully get you on again next week and in future weeks. And we'll see you all on Facebook in the meantime. All right. Bye, guys.